Hello everybody, welcome back to CES 2017 at the Kodak Studios booth in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here today to bring you more exciting announcements. This is Josh Robertson, the Film Community Manager at Kodak. Thanks for joining me on the stream, Josh.
Totally, thanks for having me.
So Josh has in his hand one of the things that everyone is the most excited about and kind of dying to know more about. This is a working prototype of the Super 8 camera. We brought the design model last year, we unveiled the camera, and it's been a crazy year with the amount of passion that we've gotten from the community, people asking where is it, when's it coming, what does it do, all the details. So Josh actually has the working prototype, and you have been fortunate enough to shoot as well, right?
I have been lucky enough to shoot some stuff with, not specifically this prototype that I'm holding in my hands, but a working prototype over the Thanksgiving holiday, and it was magical.
Awesome. So Josh, why don't you run folks through the camera?
Right.
A little bit about it.
Yeah, let's jump into it. So we'll start off by just reiterating that this is a fully manual analog camera. One of the things obviously is that it will take your Super 8 cartridge. We have some Tri-X loaded in here through the sliding door. But like I said, this is a fully manual camera. So you are literally controlling everything. You are controlling the aperture, you are controlling your frame rates, you are pretty much in control the whole way, focusing. There is not a single auto feature on the camera.
Right.
As we discussed and how I'm holding it using the traditional pistol grip that will be coming with the camera. Of course, you can always go with the newly redesigned top handle. The camera does look a little different than what we actually had last year. A few of the changes that you would probably maybe seen or noticed if you were paying attention or kind of browsing the internet. With this top handle, we do have a run button on the very top of it. So if you are utilizing the new design and utilizing the LCD viewfinder, you will be able to run the camera from the very top mount handle. Of course, you can always run it from the traditional pistol grip, and then the third run button is actually back here on the back, right next to the function button, which I will explain a little bit more about that. And those are the three sort of major run points for the camera.
Right. And some of this is feedback we got from people using the camera.
Right.
When they were holding it by that top grip, they wanted a button. So we've been going through a process, using the camera with filmmakers and getting feedback to improve it.
Yeah, the past year after we announced the cosmetic prototype, we really wanted to kind of get it into the hands of the community and the people who would be using this or have Super 8 experience in the past. So that is one of the things we did here. Is somebody would really like to have a run button on the top, because if you are utilizing the top handle design, you would definitely want to have a run button on the top. So it was one of the features that was added to it since last year's CES show. The other feature that is different a little bit this year, not by much, is the actual size of the LCD viewfinder. We got bumped out a little bit more, a little bit wider, so you can actually see everything a little bit more crisp and a little bit of a bigger sort of viewfinder image. The toggle wheel has changed a tiny bit. I'm sure you probably might not be able to see the details there. The touch wheel, as you can kind of see, is just a little bit redesigned and a little bit different. And as I'm kind of stepping towards the camera, I'll kind of show you the interface here. As you cycle through some of your settings, you get to choose. You will choose your frame rate. You have the run button frame rate, and then the function button, which is allows you to sort of rev up the camera to a different frame rate. The frame rates that you will be able to run on this camera will be 4 as of right now. You'll be able to run at 18 frames per second, 24 frames per second, 25 frames per second, and 36 frames per second. So you have quite the range of options of how you want to actually capture what you're actually shooting. So really versatile for the filmmaker.
Right. Now tell us about the Max 8 gate.
So the Max 8 gate is just a little bit wider of a film gate, which kind of just pushes your exposure plane a little bit out to just get a little bit crisper of an image.
It comes a little bit closer to like a 16:9 aspect ratio versus.
You're able to then utilize it and crop it, in post of how you actually want to present your work. So one cool feature on the LCD screen that you will be able to do is actually depending on the crop that you're actually going to want. You will be able to look at this Max 8 gate and this traditional size in the LCD screen, but if you wanted to go back to the regular 8, which is a 4:3 ratio, you'll be able to choose that setting on the LCD screen, so you'll be able to see that and how it will look when you actually go in and crop it, or when you get it back after you've scanned it at the 4:3 ratio. So another really cool feature for filmmakers to really be, you know, experimental and versatile with what they want to capture.
And what about the ports on the back?
So the ports on the back with last year's cosmetic model definitely changed. One thing that was added to the door was a lock button. Obviously, nobody wants their door to swing open, and like traditional Super 8 cameras, we needed to have a lock on there to make sure that the door didn't actually swing open. Some of the other ports on the back, we have a power button on the back. We got a power button on the back down here which will illuminate when you are charging it, when you have it plugged in. Some of the other features, we still have the SD card slot. That will be for when you're plugging in an external microphone here in the back, and we'll be able to record sound onto the SD card. HDMI port, which will allow you to do video assist, or allow you to sort of throw your LCD viewfinder image onto a larger screen in case you are doing and need a larger sort of view of what you're shooting. So on top of that, just a couple different audio jacks and a headphone jack so you can monitor the audio if you're running an external microphone.
Awesome.
So again, you know, anybody that's really wanting to make that sort of professional jump and really start, you know, actually syncing sound to their Super 8 footage that they shoot, you will be able to do that and have the ability to do that.
So we're still syncing audio. We've got a bigger viewfinder. We've added a lot of other features. Let's take a look at the footage shot on the new camera. We're going to cut a video in, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about availability and pricing. We're back? All right, we're back. So that was footage shot on the new camera. Josh, you shot some of that footage.
I did shoot some of that footage. That was kind of a combination of footage that you saw. Not only some stuff that I was able to shoot over the Thanksgiving holiday, like I mentioned, but also we've had 2 full-time people really working on the camera, and those were some of the test images that they shot as well. Right. So it was various different people shooting it, various different people with Super 8 experience shooting that stuff. So it's been great to have the experience of actually being able to shoot a working prototype, which is amazing.
Now, the one thing we forgot to talk about was the lens.
Right. So yeah, that's another feature with this camera. C-mount system for the lens. So you will be able to take off and adjust and put a different lens, working with any sort of the lenses that are in the C-mount.
You can also put an adapter in to have other.
Right. If there's other mounts, if you have an adapter that can convert to C-mount, you can definitely use those as well. We have some on stand here that some people have brought with them just to sort of demonstrate the the flexibility you have to capture whatever you really need with this thing. So with this camera specifically, all the Super 8 cameras will come with a 6mm Ricoh lens, but of course, like I said, any other C mount or lens mount that you can convert will be able to fit onto this C mount.
All right,
camera.
so the question everybody's been asking is, when is it coming out? How much is it going to cost? Where can I get it? So it will be out in spring 2017. This is the limited edition. What Josh has in his hand is the limited edition camera. This will be the first camera to come out. It'll be out in spring 2017, and there will be a standard edition that will follow, and we'll talk about that later for availability and pricing. But for the limited edition, spring 2017, $2,000. It's an incredible camera. We're really, really excited to have it here, and the response at the show has been dynamite. So thank you everybody out there for joining us. Come back later. We're going to have another bonus live stream today, talk about the Extra phone, and then come back tomorrow because we're going to do a whole bunch more stuff. We're going to talk about 360 VR and all kinds of things. And also, homework is the same. Go subscribe to the Kodakery podcast.
And if you're in Vegas, come stop by the South Hall.
Yeah, you bet. South Hall Kodak Studios. We hope to see you here. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thanks.